Hello and welcome to Tutorials by Larry. Today I'm going to show you how to build this iron farm behind me with the Minecraft Create mod. This iron farm needs no villagers, no zombies, and no iron golems. You just need a good source of cobblestone and a good source of power. Before I show you how to build this, you should know that this isn't the fastest iron farm out there, but it's actually not too bad. It produces about 400 iron per hour, which if you compare it to a standard villager-based iron farm, it's pretty close to the same. But I designed this to be small and efficient, and you could easily scale it up if you need to make more iron faster than that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here's what you're going to need to make this build happen. So the first thing to understand is exactly how are you going to take cobblestone, our source material, and turn it into iron. So with the Create mod, there's actually a couple different steps you need to do to make that happen. First thing is you're going to need 2 crushing wheels. So you're going to take the cobblestone, you're going to crush it, and it's going to turn it into gravel. And then once you have gravel, then you need to wash the gravel. So we're going to need some encased fans. And I recommend 4 of them because we're going to basically blow at it from 2 different directions. And you're going to use water, of course, to wash the gravel. And then it's going to take that gravel and it's going to turn it into flint and iron ingots. Into iron nuggets. And then what we're going to do is we want to filter out the flint. You can keep it if you want. Personally, I usually just burn it. So we're going to use things like some brass tunnels and some brass funnels with some filters to do the filtering there. And then what we're going to do is take those iron nuggets and then dump them all into a basin. And then once we have 9 of them, we'll use a mechanical press to press them together into an iron ingot. Okay, so what you want to do is get your favorite building block, and let's go ahead and make ourselves a nice little flat area here to build our little factory. Now, the cool thing is it only has to be 5 blocks wide. This is a pretty small design, and I'd go about 15 or 16 blocks deep. So let's go ahead and get that started. Okay, that looks perfect. So what we're going to do now is let's carve out a space right towards the front of the factory here, and we're going to put our item vault right here. So basically what's going to happen is we've got our nice little cobblestone farm here. It's going to pump out cobblestone, stick it in its own item vault, and then I put a little brass funnel here, and I've already added a conveyor belt. It's going to take that cobblestone, push it down over to here, and then we're going to store it into this item vault and use that as a cache for the iron farm. Okay. So what I recommend, let's do probably like a 3x9 size for the item vault. Okay, perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a depot, we'll stick it right in the middle here, and what we're going to do is we're going to convey the cobblestone right up here onto the depot, and then we'll stick a funnel here, and we'll push it into the vault. So let's change the orientation. Let's point it into the vault. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to connect power to get this conveyor system actually pushing the cobble up onto here. Okay, that is perfect. So now let's go ahead and get our power source going for the iron farm itself. And I went ahead and built a windmill for that. Honestly, you can go even stronger. You could go with a steam engine, but a good-sized windmill will work just fine. So let's go ahead and get our speed controller. We're going to stick it right on top of here. And then we'll get our cogwheel going. And then I'm going to go ahead and run power from here to the windmill. Okay, that looks great. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the speed of this controller to, I recommend going about 96. If you go a little too fast, it's going to probably overstress it. I would say 96 is probably about right for the source of power that we have. If you need more stress units, again, you probably want to build a steam engine. That should be good. Now, the reason I'm connecting the power now is because as we start adding our crushing wheels and our fans and all that, I want to make sure everything's oriented in the right direction. Okay, now, before we put the crushing wheels on the system, I recommend let's get our conveyor belt going down the line here. And I found out that a length of 10 is actually quite perfect. So let's go ahead and get that going here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and stick a casing there, and we'll put a barrel at the end. And then let's connect the belt. Perfect. Now we're also going to need some brass funnels. one to catch the final product and push it in the barrel at the end, and one of them to pull the cobblestone out of the vault. Now let's get our crushing wheels connected, make sure they're pointed in the right direction. So what I'm going to do is put some gearboxes on each side of this speed controller. Okay, we've got power moving forward there, so we're going to bring the power out a little bit, probably because they need to be right around here. So bring it out a couple of blocks. Okay, then we're going to need some vertical gearboxes. Oops, that's probably not right. That's how we want it. Perfect. And let's put the crushing wheels right underneath. So the next step is we want to get this conveyor belt moving. So let's just use the power we've already created to make that happen. All right, perfect. It's moving in the right direction. So what we want to do now is we want to connect our fans. And this can be a little tricky because usually they're not pointed in the right direction when you first set them up, but I'll show you how to fix that. So what I like to use are these things called encased chain drives. So you see the direction this thing is rotating. If you connect an encased chain drive, it keeps that rotation going in the same direction. And if you stack them, everything in the stack is also pointed in the same direction. So that's how we're going to mount our fans. So the next thing to do is let's grab our fans and let's see if they're actually pointed in the right way. And I don't think they will be, but let's try it. Nope, definitely not. So it went ahead and pulled me towards it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a gearbox. We'll do a vertical gearbox here, and we'll try to flip that orientation. So let's break that. Break that one too. Ah, perfect. All right, so we'll do the same down here. Put another fan there. Perfect. Now, you usually only have to fix one side. So this side here should be pointed in the right direction. So let's get our shafts, bring them out, and we'll use the same system here with the encased chain drives. We keep blowing away. Okay. Yep, those fans are pointed in the right direction. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we need to put some water in here so that we can actually wash the cobblestone as it comes out. Or the gravel, sorry. Okay, so what we don't want the water to do is to spill everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a brass tunnel right on this end. And we're going to actually put a filter on the tunnel. The reason we're doing that is because when the gravel's getting washed, we don't want it to just run on through to the next step. So we want to make sure it's fully washed and turned into iron nuggets and into flint as well. So we'll stick that tunnel right there. And I'll add a filter to it later. And then we want something to prevent the water from spilling out over here too. So I actually use iron bars sometimes for something like this because it'll block the water and it's kind of subtle. It doesn't really look like it's clogging up the works here. So let's get our water. Okay, now we've got ourselves a list filter with flint and iron nuggets in there. So none of the gravel will pass through until it's actually turned into these products right here. So we'll just stick that right on the tunnel. Okay, let's go on to the next step. So the next thing I want to do here is we want to basically catch the flint as it's coming through the tunnel, and we want to filter it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to destroy it. So I'm going to build a little bit of a lava trap right here. And then we're going to put a couple of chutes right on top. I'll break that. And then let's go ahead and put a brass funnel right there. And we need to make sure it's pointed in the right direction into the chutes. And then we're going to need to put an item filter on there. So here we have a list filter. And let's go ahead and put some flint on there. Perfect. We'll stick that right there. So all the flint that comes out, it's going to get pushed right into here and then just destroyed. Okay, the final step now is we're going to take the nuggets that are still going to be coming down the conveyor belt here. And what we want to do is we want to take those nuggets and compress them into ingots. And we're basically going to use a basin and a mechanical press to do that. So first thing we want to do is we want to connect some power here. And we're going to take these encased chain drives. We're going to probably need to stack them up a little bit. Okay. And then we'll take our mechanical press, stick it right there. And then we're going to put our basin right here. Okay, now the reason we use a basin is because we can take a filter and we can create basically a recipe. So if you right click on the filter and we say an iron nugget is basically what you want to create. So you then just stick that right here. And this thing will not compress until there are 9 nuggets inside of there. And when it does, it just spits it out and pushes it on its way. Okay, we also need to stick a brass funnel right here. Otherwise, it'll just kind of try to go underneath there. And I think that is it. So let's go ahead and turn on our cobblestone farm, and let's see if this thing works. Okay. It's churning out cobblestone, pumping it into here. And let's hop up here and take a look and see if everything is looking right. All right, we've got gravel. Oh, I saw some flint. Flint's getting pushed into there. And we should have some nuggets. Yes, we do. So this will start increasing pretty quickly once this starts moving. But yeah, I think this is looking good. So we'll wait a second. I don't have anything yet. There we go. Created one ingot, I'm sorry, and stuck it in the barrel. So again, you'll see this start speeding up very quickly here as soon as the cobblestone starts ramping up. But yeah, this thing produces about 400 iron per hour, so it's about as efficient as a regular villager type of iron farm. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Well, I really appreciate you all watching the tutorial. I hope it helped out a lot, and I hope you get a chance to build your own iron farm soon. And in the meantime, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and if you like the video, definitely appreciate a like as well. So I guess I'll see you all in the next video. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.